Good morning, it's Sunday, and we're not really starting a video off with me driving. I just want to jump on here real quick before I get things going and say that the last week has been very, very cold. And this morning when I woke up, it was 8 degrees above zero, and the forecast calls for an entire week of temperatures above zero. Let's get started with this week's video. Goodness. Got a package in the mail today. I kind of already know what it is, but I wanted to open it up with you guys. One of the viewers of the channel suggested I add this to my Amazon wish list. Okay. So I did, and it's kind of a cool thing to have on a wish list, I think. It's a gift that me and many other people would probably enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy it. There we go. And the funny part is, to this story, I'm sitting here yesterday, and I hear a car pull into my driveway, and I'm thinking, could that be Brother Will? It can't be Brother Will. He's at work right now. Thinking of some other people that I know, and I'm like, okay, I got to get up and find out who it is. So I open the door, and the FedEx guy goes, "Hey, what's the number of this parcel?" And so I give him the number, and he goes, "Cool, okay, here." And he hands me this package, and he says, "You don't show up on any of my maps." I said, "Don't feel bad, man. I don't show up on anybody's maps." Oh my gosh. Oh, the smell's delicious. Look at that, huh? Oh my gosh. A 2-pound bag of coffee beans. Coffee Cult. This one is dark roast, which is awesome because I love dark roast coffee. Fresh roasted gourmet coffee. Family owned and operated artisan coffee roaster coffees in their machines, coffee beans direct from Coffee Cult. Come visit us at state-of-the-art environmental friendly roasters in South 21 Avenue, Hollywood, Florida. Very cool. Very cool. I love it. It's awesome. I don't have a card in here, though, but I know who it's from. Destiny, thank you very much. It will definitely come in handy. This will be Sunday morning's brew. I'll grind it up and do a pot of coffee with it on Sunday morning. I didn't want to use it this morning because I wanted to record opening it first. But yeah, I'm going to whip up a quick batch of biscuits and gravy and biscuits and sausage gravy and get some breakfast going here. Getting a late start to the day. Tried to start the truck and had an issue with it a little bit earlier. It didn't want to start, and shame on me again for not starting it last night before I went to bed. And I'm hoping it's not going to be as big of an issue as it was before. I did have the generator fired up and running yesterday while I was editing video, so I imagine I'll be able to get it started without too much trouble today. Thank you, Destiny. Oh, God, I love the smell of coffee. Okay. I think we need to get the stove started. And I need a cookie sheet. sometimes I'll make biscuits from scratch. And sometimes I just want biscuits right now. When I'm just baking them for myself, it doesn't really warrant going through the whole hassle of making them by scratch. And I have to have other ingredients that I don't have here right now, like buttermilk. But I will tell you a couple of tricks to it. It makes it pretty simple. Is with the biscuits, if you pull them out early, let them warm up a little bit, you'll get a lot more pop on them when they bake. Same thing, you know, if you're making them from scratch. If you let that baking powder / baking soda go to work, they'll start poofing up faster. I'm getting to the end of my eggs. Chickens have been slacking. So I actually, you know, went out and bought some eggs, which is kind of embarrassing. But this is the last of the chicken laid eggs. And one of the things that I like to do, it's good coffee, and you can do this with butter as well, but I like to do it with egg. Just put a little egg wash on there. I don't know if I have a brush. I thought I did. You can see a project. Oh, there's a brush. And there's another brush. That one needs to be brushed. We'll use this one. A bit of water in there. Get a nice golden color on top. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been a cold day, so let's go out and do a little chicken wellness check and get their water. Oh. Oh. A little bit of snow. How you doing, ladies? It was a little cold out here last night. You guys okay? Wow, you guys are cold, huh? Let me get you some water, okay, girls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. We're all good. I'm going to warm up your water for you. It's supposed to get warmer today. Having starting issues with the truck again today. I think I'm just going to replace the battery. I had the generator fired up yesterday, though. I lose a lot of heat from the trailer, especially at the windows and this door. Oh, I ground up a pot of the new beans that I got from Destiny. We're going to give this a taste here. I like dark roast coffee. The bag says dark roast coffee, but they were not black like I'm used to seeing the beans when they're dark roast. So we'll give it a taste and see. It smells good. Oh, that's yummy. That's very yummy. Nothing like that first cup of the day. I'll tell you what, just send that warm, ooey gooey feeling down through me. Thank you, Destiny, very much. That was very, very incredible of you. I'll finish your bag as soon as I'm done finishing that little bag that I've got, or maybe I'll just switch back and forth for a little bit. I have to figure out how to store these things too. The bag that you gave me has an actual Ziploc seal on it, which is awesome. So I can squeeze it down, squeeze most of the air out, and keep it pretty fresh that way. The other one doesn't have that, so I'm probably going to have to burn through that as quick as I can. But I love a good cup of coffee. I just woke up. It's 4:30 in the morning. I usually start my day pretty early. I normally start work at 4 a.m., so when I sleep until 4, it's kind of like a bonus. It's been windy again pretty much all night long, but I woke up today at, like I said, at just about 4 o'clock, and the wind's still blowing, but the temperature outside is 8 degrees above zero, which is a nice break. Got some errands to run today. Head to town and do laundry. My usual Sunday routine. Oh, excuse me. My new video's up. Kind of another reason why I get up at this time, to see how the video's tracking and doing. It's just kind of a neat little toy. It's like a game for me, right? I get up, I see who was the first person that commented, how many thumbs up I have, that kind of stuff. It's kind of nice. Oh, we're supposed to get warm this week. We're looking at temperatures that are going to actually get above freezing again, which is crazy for January, but I will take it. As long as when spring hits, it's done. As long as when spring hits, we get nice warm weather for a little bit to thaw the ground out, and I can get busy building that cabin. I'm pretty excited about that. Very excited about that. All right, I'm going to have my coffee here and do a little bit of reading. It's good. I think next time, though, I'm going to go a little heavier on the beans. I did just under a third of a cup, measuring cup of the beans before I ground them. But it's got good flavor. Nice taste. No burnt taste at all on it that I get sometimes from dark roasts. Yummy. Awesome. Thank you again, Destiny. Oh, I got a big box. Let's open this thing up and see what's inside, huh? This came from a longtime subscriber, and I'm not going to give out his name because, he can keep it private. If he wants to, he can leave a comment down below saying who it's from. But not only has he been a longtime subscriber, he's become a pretty good friend, and really has shown so much support. It's freaking crazy. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I just never expected. It says Chewy.com. Maybe he sent me a puppy. I need a puppy. Oh. Okay, let's open this box up. All right. It's like Christmas, huh? Awesome. There's a ton of stuff in here. Holy smokes. Put my glasses on here because there's a note. Oh. Don't drink the turkey in one sitting. You'll be out of commission a couple of days if you do. Doggone it. Wouldn't let me ship. Might have to find another way. Ratchet strap worked good, but you got to keep coated with WD to work properly. I was going to send some Duke's Mayo, but figured it would freeze. Nice. Yeah, because I guess that's a real big deal for you guys. I guess that's a real big deal for folks on the East Coast. Duke's Mayo. I've never seen it. I don't think we carry it. We carry like Sir Kensington, but out here on the West Coast of the United States, it's Best Foods, which is Hellman's on the East Coast, and I love that stuff. Holy smokes. Talk about a care package of fun. What the heck? And it's got a magnet on the back. It's got a hook. That is nice. Holy smokes, it's bright. Wow. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Here's the WD-40 for the ratchet straps. And you can never have enough rope. Very awesome. This is Quaker Quick Grits. I don't think I've ever had grits in my life. All right, looks like I'm going to try grits. I have seen grits for sale. Oh, that one's on. There's another light, but this one actually was on, so I'll turn it off and hopefully we can check the batteries on it. I don't know how you charge these. I'll look at these a little bit better. But here's another light. Again, you can never have too many lights. Put the light up here. Okay, these. All right, I actually have some of these because they are the coolest things in the world. You can't flip them on right now. But they have, they're LED lights, and they're magnetic at the back. So I have one, yeah, I have one sitting right up above the hood over here in the kitchen, and I'll show you that in a minute so I don't open these up. But these are so bright, it's crazy. These are awesome. And trust me, when you live in Alaska and you live off-grid, you can never have too many lights. Very, very cool. What a score this is. Nice. I actually bought one of these probably about 3 or 4 months ago. But I've got the traditional aluminum one that, you know, you can't see the numbers. These, if you can tell, when I pull it up here closer, the numbers are on green on black. So super, super easy for me to be able to see. Speed square, framing square. That's going to come in handy. That's really going to come in handy. 6-piece drill adapter set. Nice. Very nice. Man, this is a ton of cool things here. A couple of 25-foot tape measures. I can never have enough tape measures. I've got 2 50-footers around here somewhere right now. This is a 3-piece screw bolt extractor set. Very cool. And we have another light. This is nice. Oh, and it's got a compass built in on top of it. Put my peepers on here so I can see what we've got. Oh, and it closes down. It's got a built-in compass. folding handles. It uses 3 AA batteries, 600 lumens. This is very cool. This is nice. This is something everybody should have, and I have about 30 of them. But the ones I have are all soft, used for cutting cardboard at work. And this one is a heavy-duty metal. It looks like it's metal. Feels like it's metal because it's nice and cold. And I call them box cutters. I don't know what the actual name is on them. Utility knife, maybe? Yeah, it's probably just a utility knife is what everybody refers to them as. But these are great for cutting through mesh, for cutting a pattern on anything, for cutting through cardboard or patterns, that kind of stuff. This will come in handy. Very cool. For when you drop something that you didn't intend to drop. That's awesome. I could have used one of these in a toolbox for working on vehicles years ago and never had one. Very cool. Oh, nice. Little pry bar set. Very cool. Huh? There's some big ones here. That's the I don't think it'll go. That's the oh, you don't think you'll go? And this is the I think you'll go. Zip ties, because you can never have enough zip ties. This is cool. This is, I saw this right when I opened the box, and I was pretty excited about this. This is going to come in very, very handy as I'm squaring up the foundation of the cabin here this spring. I have a small one of these, but this is, I like this one much, much better than the one that I have, to be honest with you. This is very awesome. Okay. Cool the pain, biofreeze, cold therapy, pain relief for sore muscles, backache, sore joints, and arthritis. Long-lasting, vanishing scent, paraben-free. Obviously, you're thinking that an old guy like me is going to be sore when he's done working, and you're thinking correctly. Here are the ratchet straps. I love ratchet straps. I'm a huge fan of ratchet straps because there is so much that you can do with them. They are just awesome. And then I have a 14-foot emergency tow rope, complete with hooks. Very cool, very handy. That is awesome. 6,000 pound capacity. This is rather crazy and a ton of fun. Thank you very, very much. Every single thing in here is going to come into use this year. I might have to put your initials on them just so you'll get to see your initials on the videos when I use them. Oh my gosh, these are cool. I'm going to play around with that big light. And I'll put the grits. Those are going to go up in the cupboard. Maybe I'll have some grits this weekend for breakfast. Never tried grits. I don't know what animal that comes from. I'm just kidding you. I know it comes from corn. Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Ton of fun. Sir, thank you. Thank your wife. Very, very awesome for you guys to do this for me. I'm just completely blown away and thank you. Much appreciated. Sometimes when I fix dinner, I just want to kick back and watch a movie that's just a classic. So tonight it's Dick Prinicky and Alone in the Wilderness. Awesome, awesome flick. One of the questions that probably I get asked the most is how do you deal with the long night, long hours of nighttime in Alaska in the winter. And it's not actually as, as difficult as you would think. Oh. part of my morning get ready for work routine here. I don't have to do that normally on the top of my head. Anyway, it's not as difficult as you'd think it would be. It's harder to stay awake than it is to do anything. Because you're constantly your body gets into cycles with the daylight, and you want to be inside and you want to be asleep. Let me turn that off. That wasn't smart. There we go. You want to be inside and you want to be pretty much done and asleep in the dark. Probably the most difficult part about the seasons and the sun cycles here in Alaska is the summer. And I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it doesn't affect my sleeping habits because I spent so much of my life growing up in my dad's bakery and then owning a bakery of my own and working all night long that I can pretty much sleep during the day without any issues at all. The sun could be shining on me, directly on me, and I can sleep. It's not a big deal. But I find myself going too long and then not having enough time to sleep before I go to work in the summer. Because you're just going. I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night, the sun's out, it's beautiful. You've been sitting by the campfire for 3 or 4 hours, and you just put another log on the fire. You don't want to go to sleep yet. Or I'm making this exact same drive to work in the morning, and it's 3:30 in the morning and the sun's already up. It's daylight already. So it does mess with you a bit. This time of year, the sun's still coming up at right around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's setting at about 4:30 in the afternoon. So we're getting about 6.5 hours of official sunlight, but it's actually lighter sooner than that. So this is what it looks like driving into town at 3:35 in the morning. And I'm pretty much the only guy on this road. Big old fluffy flakes today. That's what happens when it snows when it's warm in Alaska. 31 degrees Fahrenheit at 12 noon. I just got off of work. How's the ladies doing? Hi, girls. Hi, pretty girl. Hi. Hello. You want some water? The water's probably frozen. It's not frozen all the way, but it's pretty close, huh? Let me go get this thing. How come you guys are inside? You should go outside and play. Come on, back it up. Oh, hi. Are you picking at me? You pecking at me? What are you pecking at me for? Pop, 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 pop. Hi. What? What? Hi. What? Okay, let me close this up, get you some fresh water. Oh. hello. Let's move out of the way. Come on, move, 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 move. There we go. There. Yeah, get some water. Close you up there. Come on, move. Move. Move, 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 move. Let's catch you up to speed here, shall we? So in the last couple of weeks that I've done lives, I've had quite a few questions on the cabin. I'm going to show you the blueprints here in a second, but this is the location that the cabin's going to be at. When I originally cleared all the trees and had the bulldozer brought in to clear everything out, the plan was to have it so that it hooked away from the driveway so that it's not really visible from the road. So it's all private back here. So my parking over here where the trailer and the truck are right now will remain parking, and that is not visible from the road, and the cabin is not visible from the road either because of that just little hook I have in there. It's going to be 20 feet wide and 24 feet long, and it's going to sit roughly right through here. Kind of slightly angled a little bit so that I could pick up as much of that sun as I possibly can on the solar panels. I'll put panels on the other side too, because during the summer we just have a ton of sun. And if you watch the earlier videos from my first night on the land, I was camped right over in a spot over here, and the sun basically comes up behind us here and then tracks all the way around the sky and then dips and is gone. We have no shortage of sunlight during the summer. So that's the location of the cabin, and we'll go over the plans of it here in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to show you the other big project that I'm planning for this year. The cabin obviously is the #1 priority, but let's go take a look at the next project. So this is project #2 for this year, and they're going to go consecutively because there's times I'm going to be able to work on that, and there's when I can't, I'll be working on this. What I did here at the end of the fall last year was cut down enough trees in this area to have a garden 20 feet wide by 40 feet long. I'm not going to plant that entire garden. The first year, I wanted to get it all cleared and get it all ready. I'll be lucky if I can fill 20 by 20. The plan is, imagine the rectangular shape. So I'm gonna spin it around to give you an idea by looking at the solar panel, because it'll help. All right, so looking at the solar panel, imagine this is 20 feet by 40 feet, the length of my garden, just a simple rectangular garden. The first 10 feet, roughly, of that 40 feet will be wrapped in visqueen, you know, heavy gauge plastic, to try and warm it up enough, because I'm going to try and grow tomatoes in that section. And tomatoes are a big issue in Alaska, not with the plants growing, because as you saw with that little plant I did last year, the plant grew very well, but it's the tomatoes setting fruit and actually producing on a regular basis. So I'm going to go this 20 feet here wide. I'm going to go 10 feet in length. So yeah, let's say that would be, so I'm going to go about 10 feet in length, and I'm going to cover that entire section with visqueen. I'm going to run a pseudo fence across the middle, and so that I can wrap the whole thing up all the way around on the top, and I'll cut a entrance to get into there from here. That's going to be my solution for a temporary high tunnel for the first year or two, to see if I can't get tomatoes to grow in there. Then I'm going to go with potatoes, obviously, because they did so well here last year. I'd like to also plant carrots, onions, some cabbage, and herbs, multiple different kind of stuff like that. So the first year it'll be an experiment, and my main thing is I am a garden freak, and if I get going, I have this tendency to plant more than I could ever use. So I'm going to have to curtail my planting habits and what I want to do based on what I can actually achieve. The good thing is that none of it will go to waste, because I can just take whatever I have for the extra haul here down to the community center here in Funny River, give it away to folks down there. Same thing I did with the eggs last year. Sold them towards the end of the season. I'll probably sell extra produce and eggs and stuff, and then whatever trimmings I get from the garden will go right to the chickens as well. This is also a pretty good example, since my cabin's rectangular, of giving you an idea of the layout of the cabin, right? So, like I said, it's going to be kind of angled. The entrance will be here. This will be the part closest to the driveway. And the back third to half, probably half, right? So it's going to have a loft on the back half. And I'm going to do 2x6, 12-foot walls. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can get an extra 4 feet of wall on the second part in the loft, so it's more usable, more walk around, so I'm not walking into roof everywhere I go. So the back half is going to be covered with a loft, and then in this back half I'm going to have my kitchen, my bathroom, and in between the two I'm going to have a pantry. And it's going to be a big pantry because I want to be able to store a lot of stuff inside if possible. I'm not going to have a freezer in there. The freezer will be outside because obviously when it's cold in the winter here in Alaska, there's no sense in paying for power when you can just let nature freeze everything. But that's the rough plans. There'll be a staircase over on this side here going up to the loft, and then over in the front corner up here will be a wood stove. And then the rest of it will just be an open floor plan. I mean, that's basically it. The eventual goal will be to kick out another room off to the side here in another year or two, because as I get older, I'm not going to want to go up those stairs all the time to go to bed up in the loft. So having this extra bedroom off the side will keep the bedrooms on the main level, and then the upstairs bedroom will be a guest bedroom. So that's the kind of general plan. So I'll show it to you on paper in a minute too. Okay, I thought I had some more drawings, so that gives me something to do this weekend. But the couple that I do have will give you a pretty good idea of what I was talking about. My entrance is going to be over here. The wood stove is going to be in this corner over here. And the staircase will take you up to the loft, which will cover half of the entire ceiling. And then this whole section here will be open beam all the way up. 2 reasons for that. One, by opening up the roof and leaving it open, it's going to feel like there's a lot more room down in here. And 2, if it ever comes to the point where I want to do so, I could always close this in and have more rooms upstairs as well. I don't know if that would happen or when that would happen. So imagine looking at this drawing that, you know, here's your loft covering half of it. And so that's, what I say, it's 20 by 24, so that's 12 feet. Well, if I scratch this in to say 8 feet right here, maybe even, what would that be? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 2, 4, 6. Say if I went in with 8 feet here, and draw an imaginary line across this here, the bathroom will be back in this corner. The kitchen will be over in this corner, and then in the center part here, between the two, will be the pantry. And I'll probably use that for water storage to begin with, so that my water will be accessible for showers and stuff here in the bathroom, and my water will be accessible for my sink and everything over here. So I can run that off of a 12-volt RV pump. Pretty simple to do. Also, you see this little X right here in the middle? This is going to be pretty cool. So I've got logs for my ridge beam, because instead of using trusses, I'm just going to use a ridge beam on the roof, and I'm going to use that to support the center of the ridge beam. And there are 2 big logs that I cut down. One that you saw me peeling the log for last winter, and then another one that I cut down this last summer. Basically what's going to happen is I'm going to tie those in together so that it's just one big pole going up, and they will support the center of the ridge beam. I talked about the walls being 2x6, 12 foot tall. A normal standard house wall is 92 inches, which is, I believe, 8 feet. If I did that, right, if I did the 8 feet, then my roof would start right here and go straight up, and I would lose all this extra space here. But by using the additional, probably about 3.5 feet, that means that I gain a whole bunch of usable room up in this loft right off the bat. I don't know if I'm going to put a dormer in here or not. If I do put a dormer in on this upstairs loft area, the dormer will go over on this side. And the reason why I say that is because this will be the view looking out towards the Kenai Mountains, which are just gorgeous. And this is going to sit high enough so it'll be above the, above the trees. Right now, the plan for the roof is a 12-12 pitch, and that means that for every 12 inches it goes over, it goes up 12 inches. That's a 45-degree angle. That will allow for easy snow shed off the top of the planned metal roof, and then It will also allow for the proper angles over here for the solar panels. I'm going to have the bulk of my solar panels, probably not this year, on this side of the roof, and then I'll have a few over on this side of the roof as well to pick up some morning sun. But that's the basic plans as they stand now. This blank piece of paper is going to be the garden, and I'm going to start planning on that now. So I said it was 20 feet by 40 feet down on this end. I'm going to cover it in with visqueen and make basically a constructed high tunnel to try and warm that soil up and keep the air in there warm enough so that tomato plants can do well. I'll put somewhat of a pitch on it just so the rain will run, and I could do a little bit of water catchment so that I don't have to worry about hauling water to plant or for water in the garden. But the rest of it's pretty much an open slate. I want to do tomatoes. I want to do carrots. I want to do potatoes. I'd love to do beets and maybe some parsnips. Basically, I love root vegetables and stews, and cabbage. So we'll see what we can do on there. But these are going to be 8-foot high fence all the way around it as well. And I'll probably put a couple of wires on it with a remote solar charge capacity so that I could keep the moose out of the cabbage and the garden in general. I've got huge plans for this year. Holy smokes. I do not want to do another winter in this trailer. Lord help me, I do not want to do another winter in this trailer. And it's not because it's impossible to live in here, but I am so tired of living in such a small space, and I really want a kitchen so that I can start cooking and baking hardcore again. I hope you guys consider joining me for this. This is going to be a ton of fun. If you've got any more questions, do me a favor, leave them down below. Also, if you've got suggestions for garden, things that possibly I should plant, take into consideration that we're talking cold climate area, so I'm not going to have a lot of hot days, a lot of warm days for some warm crops. So like watermelons and cantaloupe and that kind of stuff probably won't do well here. But you know, if you have some other ideas, different types of lettuces, different types of herbs, that kind of stuff, by all means, put it in the comments down below. And who your preferred supplier of seeds is, that would not hurt as well either. So, all right, I got to get busy drawing up the garden now. So for those of you guys that have been around for a little while, mainly last summer, you know that this is my fire pit. And why did I bother to uncover this? Because tomorrow when I get off of work, I'm going to have myself a nice little campfire. I'm probably going to do the same thing on Friday too, as long as the weather stays nice like this. I'm going to kick back by the campfire, grill a couple of cheeseburgers, relax, and enjoy myself outside. The temperature right now is 31 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm in the kilt. Not chilled at all. I mean, at all. It's crazy how nice it is. And a lot of that's because I became acclimated to the really cold temperatures we had for the last week or two. The Weber charcoal grill, you've seen me use a million times. A little smoky grill, I don't think I've ever used that and showed you guys me using that. But I picked this one up for free from a guy that was leaving the state, and it was a mess. I had to replace all the wood on it myself. I had to clean the whole inside out. I had to repaint everything. I installed the temperature gauge on it. This, I call it a side box smoker. I'm sure Scotty's Backyard Barbecue will correct me down in the comments below and tell me what it's actually called. I'm going to use this to try and make some bacon. I don't know about you, but the price of bacon's ridiculous in the store, and the stuff that I've been buying is pretty much garbage. So I'm going to pick up a couple of pork bellies here in the next week or two, and I'm going to smoke me some bacon, and I'm going to do it with some pecan wood that was sent to me by Bill at the Lone Moose. Sent me up a bunch of neat stuff to barbecue with, and he's moving up here next year. I think a lot of the stuff he sent me was so that we'll all have it together when we get together and grill. But I want to really try this thing out. So that's why I shoveled off this. That's why I shoveled out this area here and dug out the chair. I need to pick up some more of these folding chairs, these things. Because they're kind of falling apart on me. But I really enjoy using them, so they're pretty cheap. I ended up throwing 2 of them away last year. I'll go ahead and pick up a couple of more this year. For now though, just in case it snows, let me get that situated. Let's talk about the generator. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the generator at this point. And that is because of me more than anything else on here. You guys saw the previous video where I discussed me not doing the proper maintenance on it, which led to some problems right off the bat as winter hit this year. But I don't like the fact that that battery doesn't charge when the generator's running. So Probably this week or this weekend, I'm going to swing by and get a small battery charger that I can plug in and have connected to that battery at all times, so that when the generator runs, the battery charges. That will allow me to leave the battery out here on a regular basis. I can leave it out here for the next couple of days without any problems, I don't think. The temperature's not going to get that cold at night where it's going to hurt it, and I have like a 98% charge in that battery right now. The other thing is I can't stand the stand that I have it on. So we're going to definitely do some adjustments on that in the spring. The rest of this structure is so rock steady, it's crazy. I think you could hoist an engine out with this thing. And it did not take me that long to do. I used the post hole digger, dug the full 4 post holes in there. When I got done, I put those in. Basically, it's just got a cross member here, a cross member back there. These are grooved so that they rest like a Lincoln log, like a log cabin, onto these pieces. And then I picked up 2 pieces of roofing material, I guess this was 2 summers ago, and laid it on top. This does shed snow much better than the chicken coop shed snow. So it's kind of crazy actually, but we're in a good position right now. Cross your fingers. We're in a good spot right now with the generator. Okay. First structure I built on the property. Last structure I built on the property. And we'll discuss a little bit of both of them. Let's go with the first structure. This has got a clear plastic roof. Just like a metal roof, the ridged kind of a tin roof kind of thing. But it's clear plastic so that you can see through it. It doesn't make any sense to have that, especially since half of the year it's covered with snow and you can't see anything out of there anyway. The other thing is I had great ideas of grandeur about how a composting toilet would work really, really well if I just built a composting outhouse. It's a pain in the neck, especially when you get to winter. The nice thing is that generally speaking, I only use that on weekends because I take care of everything else when I'm in town. And being a guy, we only have to worry about one thing when we use the bathroom. I'll probably build an actual outhouse this year because I'm not super satisfied with how this has worked out so far. The nice thing is it is a sturdy structure, so I can use it for storing tools and feed for the chickens. It won't go to waste. The chicken coop. When I built it, I should have done a better job leveling it, because what's happened here, and I should have given some thought to this roof overhang. What's happened here is that I get all the snow on this end of the roof, and there's a lot of weight here because this wall is much higher than the back wall. And because of that, I'm getting some settling and some leaning in here that has gotten to the point of making this an issue to open and close. So that's, down here it's not an issue, only up top. Okay, if I would have dropped the roof down a little bit more in that direction, I don't think this would be an issue at all right now. But I'm going to do some modifications to this anyway. I don't like the fact that there's no windows in here for the chickens to see out of. They just have the main door in the front. And I don't like the nesting box inside. So I am going to hang the nesting box out over the outside to give the chickens more room to run around in there and do what they got to do. That will allow me also to hang up their feeder and to get a waterer when spring hits that I can hang up. But live and learn, right? This was the first chicken coop I ever built, and it was a variation on a design that I saw on another YouTube channel. So overall, structurally, I'm really happy with how this is holding up. But there are some tweaks that need to be done. Let me show you the inside of the chicken run real quick. Try and get myself situated here. As you can tell, there's no tracks on the snow at all. The chickens do not like coming out when it's this cold or when there's snow on the ground. What they will do, though, is if I grab them and toss them over the fence when I'm cleaning out the inside of the coop, which I'm going to do this week, is they'll run underneath and they'll sit down there and peck and play underneath until, basically it starts to get dark and it's time for them to go back in their coop, and then they'll jump up and go inside. But they don't like to come out on their own. We'll have to think of something that I could do to cover up a run for them next year that'll be a little bit nicer and a little bit better. The snow back here is relatively deep. All around this area here, we're looking at probably, a foot of snow, 1.5 feet of snow. But the temperature stayed nice for them. This was the area I was talking about when I actually toss them out of here. So they'll roost right on top of this cross member, and I threw a bunch of hay inside towards that end so that they can actually run around and play around in the hay there. They like pecking at it and scratching at it. So they will come outside, but only if I make them come outside, and then they'll stay outside until it's time to go to bed. But we'll figure something else out next time. First time with chickens. So I'm toying around with the idea of getting a pup in the spring because I'm a dog guy and I really love dogs. I mean, I love them. But here's the negative thing of if I get one. You see all these tracks right here? They go throughout the whole piece of property. I got tracks here, 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 up here, over here, going over the hoop. Tracks over here, over here, over here. Tracks here, here, here. Back on the back part, I got a lot of tracks. And those are all rabbits. And there's more than one to be making that much, you know, that many tracks here on the property. And I'll see them in the spring before they change from their white color that they go into in winter to their grayish color that they are normally. And I'm afraid that if I get a pup, the rabbits will be gone. And I don't know that the pup would get the rabbits, but I know for sure that the rabbits would say, we're out of here. This has been a much milder winter than my previous winter on the property. We've had colder temperatures, but we've had them for a shorter duration than we did last year. I'm kind of really liking that. There's no telling what's going to happen in the rest of January and through February, but by March we start to warm up no matter what anyway. Hopefully it'll happen sooner than later so I can get started on what is going to be a busy, busy year. I'm Sean in Alaska. Thank you folks for watching. As always, have a fantastic week.